Hi everybody, it's Mr. Sutton, and I'm just going to introduce the project now, which is our self-portraits. You can see I'm wearing my Bob Ross shirt, so I'm in an inspired art mood. So I'm going to be making a little video to show you how I start when I'm going to draw my own self-portrait. So this is just an introduction, and I'll be back in a moment with the rest of the video. Hey everybody, so here's how I'm going to start. I have my paper, and what I did was I put on the camera that I used to make the videos so that I can see myself and position myself almost like I'm looking in a mirror on my computer. So I have that set up. I'm going to adjust it a little so I can see more of the top of my head, and I'm going to get started. So now I'm looking at myself. I have the light set up, and it's right here, just off your screen, I think. You can see the little bit of the base of it, but it's putting a pretty bright highlight on one side of my face, and the other side is pretty much in a shadow, although I don't have the other lights off, so I can see the other side pretty well. So I'm going to start by just observing my own head shape, and I've done a bunch of portraits, so I have a good idea what my head is shaped like. But again, we're going to start, we want to fill up a good portion of the paper with our face. Otherwise, we want to have to draw in some of the background things. So I'm going to start by making a circle for the top part of my head where the skull is. And the eyes of the skull are going to be around here someplace. And below that, I need to fill in where the jaw is going to be. So I'm going to kind of draw in where that part of the face is going to go. Now, I have here a ruler that I printed out online because I didn't have one, and I'm going to use that a little bit. You can get one online and print it out. If you have a ruler, you can use it, or you can just eyeball it and get it as close as possible. But I want to see, so the width of this is about 5 inches, so half of that would be about 2.5 inches. So what I want to do is I want to draw a line straight up and down from the top of the head to the bottom of the chin. And it's not going to be so straight on this because I cut it with a scissor. In fact, it's really hard to draw with it like that. But it's going to be basically, that's the center line where the things are going to line up from. And then across, up and down, if I line it from the very top to the very bottom, I am about 7 3/4 inches. So what that would be is half of 8 would be 4. Then we're going to take off another 1/16 of an inch right here, so that we're halfway between the top and the bottom. And I'm going to give myself a guideline for where my eyes and stuff are going to go. Again, you can do this eyeball. You don't have to measure it, although sometimes it's helpful to be able to get things in the right spots. And again, this is not a good ruler. I probably could use some other kind of a straight edge for drawing it. So that's where I'm starting. Going to start with a basic head shape, a circle for the top, and just where the jawline drops down, and then figure out halfway top and bottom, or draw a halfway line from the top to the bottom, and then figure out halfway, so this is the top half of the head, the bottom half of the head. Remember, the eyes are going to go on this line over here. The nose is going to be about halfway when I actually get to the nose. I'm not going to do that today. It's going to go about half this distance, so that should be 4 15/16, I think. So about half of that is somewhere a little less than 2. So I'm going to put that mark there, approximately where my nose is going to go. And then, so this is a little less than 2, 1/3 of that would be probably somewhere around this area here. So these are just marks where things are going to go for now. And also I do want to divide this 5 inches into 5 equal parts. So I've got it at 1, at 2, at 3, at 4, and at 5 here, and right at the beginning there. And that's going to show me where the eyes will fit. So the eyes, we want the eyes to be approximately in this area here, and in this area here. So we're going to start with the eyes today. I'm wearing my glasses, which I always do. So I don't really like doing my portraits without them because people know me with my glasses. So What I would like to do though is I want to do, get a good look at what my eyes look like, and I'm going to start drawing them in. So first thing is, it's real hard because when I turn my head, if you're in a mirror, your head turns one way, but if you're in a camera, it's turning the opposite way. So I'm trying to get a straight view and still be able to see my face, and it's not working out too great with the camera, but I'll do the best I can. So I got a slightly curved upper eyelid. And remember, these are all averages. You want to see exactly what your own eye and face are doing. It's going to drop down a little bit here in the center, and there's a bit of a tear duct in here. And it's bigger and narrow and wider over here, and it gets narrower toward this side. So my eyes they don't open like real wide like some people's do. Mine are kind of narrow. I definitely want to get that rounded shape in there, and then that's probably bigger and broader than my eyes are. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit. And again, these lines are going to disappear eventually. You can put in lines for now. I want you to observe what you're looking at. Right now I'm seeing that I can see some of the white under the iris of my eye. It's actually, my iris is more, probably because of the angle of my head, is moved a little to this side, and I can see some of the white under it, but of course none of it at the top. And I'm only seeing a small amount of white over here on this side. That's probably bigger than it is, so I'm going to trim that down a little bit. Alright, and now the glasses are going to make other kinds of reflections. The pupil is up toward the top of the eye. I'm going to trim this down even more over here, and use your eraser to help you make those shapes that you need and forms. The pupil is up underneath here a little bit, so I'm going to draw the pupil in. It's kind of small right now because I have a bright light right in my face, so that's probably bigger than the pupil should be. And there is a bit of a highlight in the pupil itself, so I'm going to try and get that highlight in here by leaving that with the white of the paper to make that highlight. My eyes are brown, so they're kind of dark. So I'm going to start filling in some of that brown with my pencil, so a shade that kind of approximates the brown. I don't want to be as dark as the black of the pupil, but at the same time I don't want to be too light either, because the other values around it are going to depend upon getting those right to make it look like me. Alright, so I'm getting a start there. Remember, there's some roundedness in the white of the eye. It's a sphere. It's actually because the light is on the left side of my face, and this is my left eye. I actually probably want more of the white brighter over here, and I'm going to start getting darker quicker on this side. I'm going to erase out some of that line that's going through where the eye is. And again, when I put the glass of the glasses over this is going to change a bit. And there are reflections on the glasses that are pretty bright, so I don't want to make it too clear like it's what's going on if I weren't wearing glasses, because I will definitely need that. So basically I'm getting some of that. because of where the glasses are, I'm seeing a brighter highlight here than I probably would see if the glasses were off. And I just want to make sure that this has got that curve, that contoured edge. You see it's starting to look a little bit three-dimensional, even though I haven't put a lot of time into it yet. Now above the eye, with my eye open, I'm seeing a line where the eyelid folds. It's coming up here, it goes along the top here very close, and then it's separating out a little bit. And it's not so curvy, it's just got a slight curve to it. And again, that's going to appear like a line now, but it's going to look more like a fold or a shadow as I shade around the eye. The light that's on me is very bright and very yellow. So I could start building up the eyelashes. My eyelashes are kind of short from what I'm seeing, and there's a big bright highlight in the glasses over here that's obscuring some of the eyelashes. So I'm going to do some of it right now, and I'm going to leave some of it for later because I don't want to have to start working on getting it out of there. Okay. And again, this is the reason I'm getting that little three-dimensional view is because of the shading, so that eye is really starting to pop out. And notice I'm using extra pressure to get the darker blacks where the pupil are, but leaving some light area for where the light is making a bright highlight in there. And again, this is all from observation. I'm not doing it from my memory. I would be terrible at drawing from my memory, especially my own face. So I'm doing it from observing what I look like when I look. The other complication of having the glasses on and the computer screen is the computer screen is also reflecting in my glasses. So over my right eye, I'm seeing like the blues and stuff from the computer screen. So I may ignore those and try and work around them a little bit. Okay, so when I'm looking straight ahead, in fact, I'm going to take my glasses off, get the eye shape right, and then I'll get it back on. So from this eye here, if I'm looking straight at it, because the light's bright on this side and it's coming in this direction, this side of my nose is making a really dark shadow. So it's actually shadowing well over the eye. So I want to get some of that shadow in there. So what I'm seeing is the basic shape of the bridge of the nose is coming in. It's kind of getting my head straight and getting it in the same position is really difficult. Much easier to work from a picture. So I'm going to be shadowing right from about here to, it's coming way down over here and actually making a really pretty big shadow, and then down and around. So that's going to be in the shadow. I'm just going to lock in where that shadow is going to be right now. I can fix it and adjust it later. That's the beauty of working with pencil or charcoal or other materials, is that you have that flexibility to work later, to fix it later. Okay, so again, my eye is coming up from here. Get a nice sharp up, and then it kind of is very low and narrow and angled down, kind of like that. And then from the bottom, it's coming out narrow, and it goes up under here a little bit. It opens widest right about here, and then it's going to come back in narrow again. And the pupil, again, is more to the center this time. Not the pupil, the iris. And again, I can see under a little bit of the white, but this one is actually touching the bottom a little bit more. And I have I know the pupil is over here, and there is a bright highlight there. And because it's on the shadow side, this eye appears to be darker than the other one, the iris. So I'm going to fill that in a little darker than the other one. And what should start emerging is my eyes. So I'm looking at that right now, and I got a couple of issues that I got to work out. Because I shaded over where that mark was here, this eye is too narrow. I put my glasses back on so I could see, and the eyes are clearly not even, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to turn off the camera while I do that, and I'm going to come back and talk you through the end of getting the eyes in place. Okay, so I got to start on the eyes. Obviously they need a lot of more work. They are definitely getting there. Let me tilt it so you can see it a little better. In fact, let's put it this way. So that's what today's lesson is going to be. What I want you to do is I want you to work on getting your eyes. My eyes, again, still need a lot of work. There's stuff on the underlids, stuff over the eyes, the eyebrows, all kinds of stuff to put in. What I want you to do is start working on your own. If you are comfortable working in front of a mirror, it's a little tricky. Or a camera. If you have a camera on your computer, you can light up with the camera. Set up your lighting so that you have a highlight side and a dark side. And I want you to be working on trying to really accurately see what the shapes are. And you can just keep working it and working it and working it. What I see frequently is I will see students will sometimes say things like, I need to start over and so forth. And the reality is that you don't need to start over. The reality is you're working fine, and the pencil is very forgiving, so you can definitely do a lot more with your pencil and eraser, and just keep working it and working it until you get it the way you like it. I am not really happy where those eyes are yet, but I'll keep working mine, you keep working yours, and at the end, hopefully we'll all have nice portraits of ourselves. All right, have a wonderful day, and get started on your basic head shape and aligning where your eyes are going to go and getting those drawn in the correct place. When you're done with it, take a picture of it and you can send it to me.